My suggestion to all of you is this. You now know when the sun's going to nova, what's going to happen, where it's going to happen. If you have any hope and chance of surviving, and your relatives or the young people surviving, it's going to be a matter of forcing government, because they're the only ones that have the assets, the ability to mobilize people and to build stuff and have the finances to do it.
Hello and welcome back to another video. In this episode I am going to do a little bit of overview of material from Douglas from Diehold Foundation about polar reversal and the upcoming ice age. As you can see in the first short clip, he's suggesting that we should do something to make the government allocate resources, and we should do something and so on. This, in my opinion, this is not a good idea. First of all, politicians, they have very little knowledge what is actually happening. To those that understand how the government right now works, basically the government is just a bureaucratic state. Those are all clerks. Their job is only to paperwork. They have, if we leave the decision making to them, then we would be really screwed. There is a different pecking order. I am sure some of you already are aware of that. For example, in US, it's not the president that is running the show. You may think that it is. No, he's not even in the top 10 making the decisions. Let's leave that aside. So keep that in mind, that if you start bombarding the government or your local politicians about starting building shelters and taking some actions towards preserving life, you are gonna create a lot of problems, because not all of them have any clue what you are talking about. And in order to explain to them everything, what and how, they will always rely on experts. And the experts, they have access to, I am sure they will tell them something different. And there are always gatekeepers that are looking after that to make sure that those people know the right information. You understand what I'm trying to say here. The people who do know what is really happening, there are only few. And to reassure you, the steps are already taken, and Douglas is not aware that there is something happening behind the scenes, that the shelters are in place for a very long time. The people are already there. They are getting accustomed to living in those conditions. They are accustomed to form different society, working in different systems which are not money and greed driven. It's more of a system which is focused more on cooperation, working towards common goal and achieving those goals. Okay, I am going to give you another clip, and then I will put my comment into it. So, should you contact local authorities and try to convince them to do something? The answer is no.
Side notes about protection. There's no guarantee in life that everybody's going to be kind, considerate, and honest, as we know. No. So when you go into your cave system, although not only in the cave system you worry about some people, but also outside after the cave system is over with, and you're building your own wooden houses and stuff like that. You bring your guns and lots of ammunition, knives and swords, they work real good too. And of course, the lovely bows and arrows, our ancestors used them and they worked real good for them too. So I'm not naive, and I love the Second Amendment. Start collecting gold and silver coin. Gold and silver has been a monetary exchange of goods and services for thousands of years, and it's not going to change. So bring it with you. And of course, you have your guns to protect yourself.
This is a very interesting suggestion or idea to start a new civilization with guns and money. Not to mention that you want willingly to go to the caves with loaded guns, with a lot of ammunition, and with money, where the attachment to gold is still there. Because as the times go, money is not going to be worth absolutely anything. Just gonna be worthless. You're gonna be sleeping on the gold, and it is absolutely not going to have any value to you. Now, guns, on the other hand, when you have a bunch of people that going on each other's nerve, may not be such a good idea to have them there. So there is, whenever you are going into survival mode and you try to start a new civilization, you want to start something new. First, and the most important thing is your intentions. What do you need to do that for? What is the end goal of that? If this is only to extend what we already have, and what we have is a crap, I don't see any reason why I should go to caves for hiding, because there are better ways, different ways, and I will talk about them in my future videos. Then I will explain. Even if everybody dies, you are gonna be back on Earth anyway. You should ask yourself one simple question: how come after every ice age where everything is covered in ice, or there is this micronova where everything is basically fried, how come we have bees, we have ants, we have all the insects, we have so many animals? How did they survive? Did they dig caves? How many guns did they take to the caves? How much money did they take with them? You see the irony in this whole thing? None of those animals, the deer or the raccoons, they were, oh yeah, if I survive, the other raccoon cannot. It's just paranoia. The drive to survive at all costs is fear driven, and usually people like that, they are the first to go, because the right motivations are going to guide you. If you just want to have fun with it and see how if you can go through this whole very dramatic event and survive, then most likely you will. But if you are going, oh, I have to, oh my god, there is going to be a problem, it's very unlikely that you will survive. And there are other ways that you can come back to Earth, but I am going to cover this in some other video, because this is much more complex, much more scientific than you can imagine. I will try to explain that. Okay, so let's move to another clip.
My definition of a family unit. Some people, some of them may not like it, but I had to think this, I thought this out for a long time. How many people make up a group? Because I want everybody to understand what I'm about to say, and this has to do with the survival of the human race. I don't want it that only 30 fertile females survive it like it did 12,000 years ago. I want to give a lot more people a chance of survival. I don't want to lose the technology that we've developed up to this 21st century. A lot of it's very good technology, and some is plainly not too good at all. It's a waste of money, some of it. So that's one of the things I want to install in this. And this is my suggestion, but I think it's workable. So
Here I played only a very short clip. I didn't play you the whole explanation about how one guy and three girls, because to me, as I said, he has the right to have his own idea how this survival should go. He has his own idea how his future world should be. By the way, we are being divided into many groups, and he is not part of mine. I am not part of his either. So that's why we have a different view of how this whole thing should be. But I'm going to say something really important here. I do not see people as objects and or, especially if it comes to women, as a reproductive body. There is more than that. Those two parts of the species, a man and a woman, it's the feminine and the masculine energies. They are more than just physical bodies. We not only receive those energies, but we also emit those energies. We are transforming specific energies into further, which are being received by the sun, by the galaxy, which many people don't even understand that, but that's true. The sun is bringing in the sound and the energies through a frequency or the waves coming from there. Then everything here is being absorbed, including people, and then people give off a specific frequency which is then picked by the sun, and then the sun is behaving accordingly. So most of the sunspots and the flares, they are not random, they are very precisely planned. They are a response, they are delivery system of specific frequencies. And those frequencies are responsible for activating a specific elements in our field of possibilities or the field of experience. I am going to make a specific video to that because that needs more explanation. But again, I'm going to leave a link below so you can see this whole clip yourself. And many of you are gonna be disgusted by that. And I'm not going to dump anything on him because, as I said, he has the rights to have his own view of the world and how he wants to, go into, or how people should go through the survival mode, and that's how he wants to proceed. Okay, let's move to another final clip.
You have to realize we're dealing with an extremely highly advanced technology and people that make us look like monkeys. They're that advanced. They understood and knew exactly how the universe worked. They knew exactly the program that creates our reality. They knew the program that they were in. And they were able to build things like that crystalline computer on top of that ark, that rod, and other things. So, what happened? How come their clothing didn't wear out and their shoes didn't wear out if it was 40 years? This is the secret. The Hebrews were in a room or chamber, yeah, right, for either 30 days or 31 days. I haven't made my mind up whether they went immediately in after they arrived at the place or they waited one day before they went in. It's the only reason. But on the outside, 40 years had passed. It's either, if you're in this buffer for 150 days, it's equivalent of either 193 years or 200 years, which means you would have passed the worst part of the Nova and the Ice Age. That's what this highly advanced civilization did to escape this event, why they survived it. Now, why the operating system is telling Moses this and leaving all these clues is maybe he wants us to survive this thing.
Sounds like a sci-fi movie, but it's not. Something like that actually exists. What was explained to me and shown to me, those are bridges. There are two different types. One of them is between two places in the same time. Those are the horizontal bridges. And then there are the vertical, which are dealing with either time forward or backwards. And all this is regulated by frequency. Our reality is a specific band of frequency, and the reality next to ours is also a band, but they are two different frequencies. We can cross from one to another using those bridges. This is science behind this, but not many people know that. The people that are involved in this usually are connected to militaries and secret organizations where this is not made public. It's a good reason for that, and I am actually happy that this is happening. I will dedicate a complete video to that because there is evidence from the past. As far as we can remember, those things were happening, and there are still remnants somewhere in the world that I will show you that reminds of what was happening in the past. Now, his view how this whole thing is going to unfold is a bit different than mine. I already know that all the evidence that he had, he dumped this into one basket. However, not all of this is going to happen at the same time. Some stuff is going to be happening prior to the main event, and some is going to be happening afterwards. And also the main event is not going to unfold the way he is describing. It's a little bit change of plans. However, the fact is that something like that will happen. The date, he might be correct or maybe not. I have a little bit different date, but that's subject for another time. So thank you for watching this video. Please do share this video with people that you think they might like it. Please do like this video. Please click the notification bell so you will know when the next videos are coming, and give me some comments. Maybe you have something to add to this, or perhaps there are people that are having visions about this. I am one of those people too. So please, if you did experience something very realistic in your dreams about how this whole thing is unfolding, just let me know. Just leave that in the comments or contact me at the email address over there. Okay, so thank you for watching and see you in the next video.